welcome to SFA School of Theater's production of Titus Andronicus. We are so grateful that you've joined us, and we look forward to a memorable evening. We ask that you turn off your cell phones as they are disruptive to the audience, actors, and our sound system. Please note in your program our Friends of Theater. We hope you'll consider joining this group in the future. Friends of Theater are the reason many students are able to attend conferences, get small scholarships, and much more. Please note that the aisles will be used during the show, so please keep them clear. Also, there will be a brief 15-minute intermission. Now on to our pre-show discussion. To be or not to be, that is the question. A classic line from arguably Shakespeare's best play, Hamlet. However, rest ye assured, brave people, the play you're about to witness is no Hamlet, not by a long shot. Yes, tonight's play is not without its controversies. Some say the play Titus Andronicus was indeed not written by Shakespeare at all. Scandalous, yes, I know. Noted critics have heralded the play as lurid and violent, even burlesque with farcical possibilities. And T.S. Eliot called it one of the stupidest and most uninspired plays ever written. Oh my, indeed. But never fear, I am here as your resident Shakespearean scholar to answer any questions and, more importantly, help elevate this so-so Shakespearean text to a level of excellence.
Victorious in thy morning weeds. Behold Andronicus, bound with laurel boughs to resalute his country with his tears. Tears of true joy for his return to Rome. Thou great defender of this capital, stand gracious to the rights that we intend. Romans of 25 valiant sons, behold the poor remains, alive and dead. These that survive, let Rome reward with love. These that I bring unto their homes, with burial amongst their ancestors. Here, gods have given me leave to sheathe my sword. Titus, unkind and careless of thine own, why sufferest thou thy sons, unburied yet to hover on the dreadful shore of Styx? Make way to lay them by their brethren, and there greet in silence as the dead are wont, and sleep in peace, slain in your country's wars. sacred receptacle of my joys, how many sons of mine hast thou in store, that wilt never render to me more?
Give us the proudest prisoner of the gods.
No.
And all the pile that our dead brother sacrificed his flesh, that so the spirits be not unappeased, nor we disturb with mischiefs on the earth.
I give him you, the noblest that survives, the eldest son of this distressed queen.
Stay, Roman brethren! O gracious conqueror, victorious Titus, rue the tears I shed, a mother's tears in passion for her son's life. And if thy sons were ever dear to thee, oh, think my son to be as dear to me. Suffice it not that we're brought to Rome to beautify thy triumphs, captive to thee and to thy Roman yoke. But must my sons be slaughtered in the streets for valiant doings in their country's cause? Andronicus, stain not thy tomb with blood. Sweet mercy is nobility's true badge. Thrice, noble Titus, spare my firstborn son.
Away with him!
But we survived to tremble under Titus's threatening looks.
See, Lord and Father, how we have performed our Roman rites.
Let it be so. And let Andronicus make this his latest farewell to their souls. In peace and honor, rest you here, my sons. Here lurks no treason, here no envy swells, here grow no damned grudges, here no storms, no noise, but silence and eternal sleep. In peace and honor, rest you here, my sons.
In peace and honor live Lord Titus long. My noble lord and father live in fame. Let this tomb my tributary tears I render for my brethren's obsequies. And at thy feet I kneel with tears of joy shed on the earth for thy return to Rome. Oh, bless me here with thy victorious hand, whose fortunes Rome's best citizens applaud.
Kind Rome, let us thus lovingly reserve the cordial of mine age to glad my heart. Lavinia, outlive thy father's days, and fame's eternal day for virtue's praise.
Noble patricians, patrons of my right, defend the justice of my cause with arms. And countrymen, my loving followers, plead my successive title with your swords. I am his firstborn son that was the last that wore the imperial diadem of Rome. Then, let my father's honors live in me, nor wrong mine age with this indignity!
Romans, friends, followers, favorers of my right. If ever Barciana were gracious in the eyes of royal Rome,
the capital, and suffer not dishonor to approach the imperial seat, to virtue consecrate, to justice, continence, and nobility. But let deserts and pure elections shine. And Romans, fight for freedom in your choice!
Princes that strive by factions and by friends, ambitiously for rule and empery, know that the people of Rome, for whom we stand a special party, have by common voice in election for the Roman empery chosen Andronicus, a noble man, a braver warrior, lives not this day within the city walls. He by the Senate is summoned home from weary wars against the barbarous Goths, that when his sons, a terror to our foes, have yoked a nation strong, trained up in arms. 10 years are spent since first he undertook this cause of Rome and chastised with arms our enemy's pride. Let us entreat, by honor of his name, that you withdraw you, abate your strength, dismiss your followers, and as suitors should, plead your deserts in peace and humbleness.
Marcus Andronicus, much faith I do have in thy uprightness and integrity, and so I love and honor thee and thine, thy noble brother Titus and his sons, and her to whom my thoughts are humbled all, gracious Lavinia, Rome's rich ornament, that I will here dismiss my loving friends, and to my fortunes and the people's favor commit my cause in balance to be weighed.
Friends that have been thus forward in my right, I thank you all. And here, dismiss you all. And to the love and favor of my country, commit myself, my person, and the cause. Rome, be as just and gracious unto me as I am confident and kind to thee. Open the gates and let me in.
Romans, make way! The good Andronicus, patron of virtue, Rome's best champion, successful in the battles that he fights, with honor and with fortune is returned from where he circumscribed with his sword and brought to yoke the enemies of Rome. Hail Rome! Hail my morning weed!
Long live Lord Titus, my beloved brother, gracious triumph in the eyes of Rome.
Yes.
And welcome, nephews, niece, from successful wars, you that survive, and you that sleep in fame. Titus Andronicus, the people of Rome, whose friend in justice thou hast ever been, send thee by me their tribune and their trust, these ropes of gold and shining hue, and name thee an election for the empire, with these our late deceased emperor's son and daughter. Be our candidate, and put it on, and help to set ahead on headless Rome.
The better head her glorious body face. Well, give me a staff of honor for mine age, but not a scepter to control the world. While pride he held it, lords, he who held it last.
Titus, thou shalt obtain and ask the emperor.
Proud and ambitious tribune, canst thou tell?
Patience, Prince Andronicus.
Romans, do me right. Patricians, draw your swords and sheathe them not, till Saturninus be Rome's emperor. Andronicus, would thou wert shipped to hell rather than rob me of the people's heart.
Content thee, Prince. I will restore to thee the people's hearts and wean them from themselves. People of Rome and people's tribunes here, I ask your voices and your suffrages. Will you bestow them friendly on Andronicus?
To grant
find the good Andronicus,
and congratulate his safe return to Rome.
the people will accept whom he admits.
Tribunes, I thank you. And this suit I make, that you create your emperor's eldest son, Lord Saturnine, whose virtues will, I hope, reflect on Rome as Titan's rays on earth. Yes.
With voices and applause of every sort, patricians and plebeians, we create Lord Saturninus, Rome's great emperor, and say, long live our Emperor Saturnine. Long live our Emperor
Titus Andronicus, for thy favors done to us in our election this day, I give thee thanks in part for thy deserts, and will with deeds requite thy gentleness. And for an onset, Titus, to advance thy name in honorable family, Lavinia will I make my empress, Rome's royal mistress, mistress of my heart, and in the sacred pantheon, her spouse. Tell me, Andronicus, doth this motion please thee?
It doth, my worthy lord. And in this match I hold me highly honored of your grace. And here in sight of Rome to Saturnine, king and commander of our commonweal, the wide world's emperor, do I consecrate my sword, my chariot, and my prisoners. A present well worthy of Rome's imperial lord. Receive them then, the tributes that I owe. Mine honor and signs humble at thy feet.
Thanks, noble Titus, father of my life. How proud I am of thee and of thy gifts.
Now, madam, are you prisoner to an emperor, to him that for your honor and your state will use you nobly and your followers?
Clear up, fair queen, that cloudy countenance. Though chance of war hath wrought this change of cheer, thou comest not to be made a scorn in Rome. Princely shall be thy usage in every way. Rest on my word, and let not discontent daunt all your hopes, madam. He comforts you, can make you greater than the queen of gods. Lavinia, are you not displeased with this?
Not I, my lord, since true nobility warrants these words in princely courtesy.
Thanks, sweet Lavinia. Romans, let us go. Ransomless here, we set our prisoners free. Lords, proclaim our honors with trump and drum.
Lord Titus, by your leave, this reign is mine.
How now, madam? Are you in earnest then, my lord?
I, noble Titus, and resolve with all to do myself this reason and this right.
To each his own is our Roman justice. This princess in justice sees it but her own.
And that she will, and shall if Lucia live.
Traitors upon treason, my lord. Lavinia is stolen.
Stolen by whom?
I see the just many that her betrothed from all the world away.
Others, help to convey her hence away, and with my sword I'll keep this door safe.
Let's go. Follow us, my lord. I'll soon bring her back.
My lord, you passed that here.
What? Villain boy, barrest me my way in Rome.
My lord, you are unjust, and worse than unlawful war, you slay this
Nor thou nor here any sons of mine. My sons would never so dishonor me. Traitor! Restore Lavinia to the emperor.
Dead if you will, but not to be his wife. That is another's lawful promised love. No, Titus, no! The emperor needs her not. Nor her, nor thee, nor any of thy stock. I'll trust by leisure him that mocks me once, thee never. Nor thy traitorous haughty sons, confederate, all thus to dishonor me. And therefore, lovely Tamara, who overshines the gallant dames in Rome. Behold, I choose thee, Tamara, for my bride, and will create thee Empress of Rome. Speak, Queen of Goths, dost thou applaud my choice? And I swear by all the streets of Rome, I will not re-salute my house. Till from forth this place, I lead espouse my bride along with me.
And here, in sight of heaven, to Rome I swear, if Saturnine advance the Queen of Goths, she will an handmaid be to his desires, a loving nurse, a mother to his youth.
Ascend, fair queen. Pantheon! Lords, accompany your noble emperor and his lovely bride, sent by the heavens for Prince Saturnine, whose wisdom hath her fortune conquered. There shall we consummate our spousal rights.
Titus! Say what thou hast done! In a bad quarrel and a virtuous son!
No, foolish tribune, no. No son of mine, nor thou, nor these confederates in the deed that hath dishonored all our family. Unworthy brother and unworthy children.
But let us give him burial. As becomes, give Mutius burial with our brethren.
Traitors away! He rests not in this tomb. Bury him where you can. He comes not here.
He must be buried with his brethren.
And shall, or him we will accompany. And shall. What villain was it that spake that word?
He that would vouch it in any place but here.
What, would you bury him in my despite?
No, Titus.
No, noble Titus, but entreat of thee to pardon Mutius and to bury him.
Marcus, even thou hast struck upon my crest, and with these children, mine honor thou hast wounded. He's my foe, and I can abuse you, everyone. So trouble me no more, but get you gone.
He is not with himself. Let us withdraw.
Not I!
Till Mutius' bones be buried.
Brother, for in that name doth nature plead.
Father, and in that name doth nature speak.
Speak thou no more, if all the rest will speak.
Renown Titus more than half of my soul.
Dear father, soul and substance of his own.
Suffer thy brother Marcus to inter his noble nephew here in virtue's nest, that died in honor, in Lavinia's cause. Thou art a Roman. Be not barbarous. Let not young Mutius, then that was thy joy, be barred his entrance here.
Rise, Marcus, rise. This dismal day is that ere I saw, to be dishonored by my children in Rome. Well, bury him, and bury me the next.
Thy bones, sweet Mutius, with thy friends, till we with trophies do adorn thy tomb. No man shed tears for noble Mutius. He lived in fame that died in virtue's cause.
You've played your prize. God give you joy, sir, of your gallant bride.
And you of yours, my lord. I say no more, nor wish no less. And so I take my leave.
Traitor! If Rome have law, or we have power, thou and thy faction shall repent this rape.
Rape! Call you it, my lord, to seize my own, my true betrothed love, and now my wife? But let the laws of Rome determine all. Meanwhile, I am possessed of that is mine.
Oh, 'tis good, madam, you're very short with us, but if we live, we'll be as sharp as
My
you.
lord! What I have done, as best I may, answer I must and shall do with my life. This noble gentleman, Lord Titus here, is in opinion and in honor wronged, that in the rescue of Lavinia with his own hand did slay his youngest son. Receive him then, to favor Saturnine.
Princess Bastian, leave to plead my deeds. 'Tis thou and those that have dishonored me. Rome and the righteous heavens be my judge how I have loved and honored Saturnine.
My worthy lord, if ever Tamara were gracious in those princely eyes of thine, that hear me speak indifferently for all, and at my suit, sweet pardon what is past.
What, madam? Be dishonored openly and basely put it up without revenge.
Not so, my lord. The gods of Rome forfend I should be authored to dishonor you. But on mine honor dare I undertake, for good Lord Titus, innocence in all, whose fury not dissembled speaks its griefs, but at my suit look graciously on him. Lose not so noble a friend on vain suppose, nor with sour looks afflict his gentle heart. My lord, be ruled by me, be won at last. You are but newly planted on your throne. Less than the people and patricians too, upon a just survey, take Titus's part. Yield at entreaties, and then let me alone. I will find a day to massacre them all and erase their family and their faction. The cruel father and his traitorous sons to whom I sued for my dear son's life, and make them know what 'tis to let a queen kneel in the streets and beg for grace in vain. Come, sweet emperor, come, Andronicus, pick up this good man and cheer the heart that dies in tempest of thy angry throne.
Rise, Titus, rise. My empress hath prevailed.
I thank your majesty and her, my lord. These words, these looks infuse new life in me.
Titus,
Thank you.
I am incorporate in Rome, a Roman now adopted happily, and must advise the emperor for his good. This day all quarrels die, Andronicus. And let it be mine honor, my lord, that I have reconciled your friends in you. And for you, Princess Bastiana, I have passed my word and promise to the emperor that you will be more mild and tractable. And fear not, lords, and you, Lavinia, by my advice, all humbled on your knees shall ask pardon of his majesty.
We do, and vow to heaven and his highness that what we did was mildly as we might, tendering to our sister's honor and our own.
That on mine honor, here I do protest.
Away, and talk not. Trouble us no more.
Nay, nay, sweet emperor. We must all be friends. The tribune and his nephews kneel for grace. I will not be denied, sweetheart. Look back.
Marcus, for thy sake and thy brothers here, and at my lovely Tamara's entreaties, I do remit these young men's heinous faults. Stand up. Lavinia, though you left me like a churl, I found a friend. And sure as death I swore I would not part a bachelor on this day. You are my guest, Lavinia, and your friends. This day shall be a love day, Tamara.
Tomorrow, and it please your majesty, to hunt the panther in the heart with me. With horn and hound, will give your grace good day.
Be it so, Titus, and gratitude to you.
Get back here!
Now climb at Cameronipus' top. Safe at a fortune shot, and sits aloft. Secure of thunder's crack or lightning flash, above pale envy's threatening reach. As when the golden sun salutes the morn, and having gilt the ocean with his beams, gallops the zodiac in his glistering coach, and overlooks the highest peering hills. So Tamara, upon her which doth earthly honor wait, and virtue stoops and trembles at her then. Ere and arm thy heart and bid thy thoughts, to mount aloft with thy imperial mistress, and mount her pitch whom thou in triumph long hast prisoner held, fettered in amorous chains. Away with slavish weeds and servile thoughts, I will be bright, and shine in pearl and gold, to wait upon this new-made empress. To wait, said I, to wanton with this queen, this goddess, this silent, that will charm Rome's Saturday.
No! I can't! No! Demetrius!
Chiron, thy years want wit, thy wit wants edge, but manners to a true who are I am great.
Demetrius, thou dost overween and all. 'Tis not the difference of a year or two makes me less gracious or thee more fortunate. I am as able and as fit as thou to serve and to deserve my mistress's grace. And that upon thee my sword shall approve and plead my passions for Lavinia's love.
What, boy? Although our mother unadvised gave you dancing rapier by your side, are you so desperate grown to friendship rings? Go to, have your lathe glued to your sheath till you know better how to use it.
Meanwhile, sir, with the little skill I have, full well shalt thou perceive how much I dare.
Oh, not boy. Grow ye so brave?
Why, how now, lords? So near the emperor's palace dare you draw, and maintain such a quarrel openly. I would not for a million of gold. The cause were known to them in most concerns.
Hey.
For shame. Put on!
Oh, not I, till I sheathe my rapier in his bosom with all just these reproachful speeches that he has prayed in my dishonor
For
here.
that I am prepared and full resolved. Thou spoken coward.
Thou spoken
That
coward.
thunders with thy tongue.
Thunders with thy
And
tongue.
nothing dares before, huh?
Away, By the gods that warlike doth adore, this petty quarrel will adore!
I'm sorry.
What? Is Lavinia then become so loose? Or Bastiana so degenerate? That for her love, such quarrels may be broached without control makes justice or revenge! Young lords, beware. And should the Empress know this discord's ground, the music would not please.
I care not. I knew she and all the world. I loved Lavinia more than all the world.
Godly, let us know this! Lavinia! Lavinia! It's time now to run the town!
Or know ye not in Rome how furious and impatient they be, and cannot grow competitors in love? I tell you, lords, you do but grudge your death by this device!
Aaron, 1,000 deaths would I propose to achieve her, whom I love.
To achieve her? How?
Why make yourself so strange? She is a woman, therefore may be wooed. She is a woman, therefore may be wooed. Well, she is Lavinia, therefore must be loved.
Why then? It seems some certain snatch or so was served in turn.
I saw the turn was served.
However, thou hast hit it!
Would you had hit it too? Then should not we be tired with this duel? Come, listen. And are you such fools to square for this? Would it offend you then that both should speak?
Oh, faith, not me.
Nor me, so I one.
For shame. Be friends and join for that you crave. 'Tis policy and strategy must do that you affect. A speedier course than lingering languishment must we pursue. And I have not the plan. My lords, a solemn hunting is at hand. There with the lovely woman ladies troop. The forest walks are wide and spacious, and many unfrequented plots there are fitted by time for rape and villainy. Single you thither than this dainty doe, and strike her home by force, if not by words. The wounds are ruthless, dreadful, deaf and dumb. There speak and strike brave souls, and take your turns. There serve your lust shadow from heaven's eye, and revel in Lavinia's treasury.
Thy counsel, lad, smells of no cowardice.
Be it right or wrong till I find a stream to cool this heat. Oh, a charm to calm these fits. I am in hell. The hunt is up. The morn is bright and gray. The fields are fragrant and the woods are green. Many good morrows to your majesty. Madam, you as many and as good as I promise your grace a hunter's peal.
And you have rung it, lustily, my lord. Somewhat too early for new married ladies.
Lavinia, how say you? I say no. I have been brought away 2 hours and more.
Come on then, let us go. Horse and chariots let us have, and to our sport. Madam, now shall you see our Roman hunting.
I have dogs, my lord! We'll have the proudest panther in the chase, and climb the highest promontory top!
I have horse will follow where the game makes way and run like swallows over the plain. Cairo, we hunt with neither horse nor hound. We but pluck a dainty doe to ground.
He that hath wit rich would think that I had none. To bury so much gold under a tree, and never after to inherit it. Let him that thinks of me so abjectly know that this gold must coin a stratagem, which cunningly effected will beget a very excellent piece of villainy. And so repose, sweet gold, for their unrest that have their alms out of the Empress's chest.
My lovely Aaron. Wherefore lookest thou sad, when everything doth make a gleeful boast? The birds chant melody on every bush, the snake lies rolled in the cheerful sun, the green leaves quiver with the cooling wind, and under their sweet shade, Aaron, let us sit. We may each reason in the other's arms. Our pastimes done possesses of gold and slumber, whilst hounds and horns and sweet melodious birds be unto us, as is a nurse's song of lullaby to bring her babe to sleep.
Madam, though Venus govern your desire, Saturn is dominator over mine. Vengeance is in my heart, death in my hand, blood and revenge are hammering in my head. Hark, terror! The Empress of my soul. This is the day of doom for Bassiana. Her Philomel must lose her tongue today. Thy sons may pillage of her chastity and wash their hands in Bassiana's blood. Seest thou this letter? Take it up, I pray, and give the king this fatal letter scroll. There should be no more. We were spied.
Who have we here? Rome's royal empress, unfurnished of her well-beseeming troop. Oh, is it Diane? Haggard like her, who hath abandoned her holy groves to see the general hunting in this forest?
Saucy controller of our private steps, had I the power that some say Diane had, thy temples should be planted presently with horns, and hounds should drive upon thy new transformed limbs, unmannerly intruder as thou art.
Under your patience, gentle empress. 'Tis thought you have a goodly gift in horning. Jove shield your husband from his house today. 'Tis pity they should take him for a stab.
Why are you sequestered from all your train, dismounted from your snow-white goodly steed, and wandered hither to an obscure plot, accompanied, but with a barbarous Moor, if foul desire had not conducted you?
And being intercepted in your sport, great reason that my noble lord be rated for sauciness. I pray you, let us hence. And let her joy her raven-colored love. This valley fits the purpose passing well.
The king, my brother, shall have note of this.
Good king, to be so mightily abused!
I have my patience to endure all this.
Well, how now, dear sovereign? And our gracious mother? Why doth your highness look so pale and wan?
Have I not reason, think you, to look pale? These two have enticed me hither to this place. A barren, detested vale, you see it is. And when they showed me this abhorred pit, they told me here at dead time of the night, 1,000 fiends, 1,000 hissing snakes, 10,000 swelling toads, as many urchins would make such fearful and confused cries as any mortal body hearing it should straight fall mad or else die suddenly. No sooner had they told me this hellish tale, but straight they told me they would bind me here onto the body of dismal you and lead me to this miserable death. Oh, and then they called me a foul adulteress, lascivious gulf, and all the bitterest terms that ever ear did hear to such effect. Oh, and had you not By wondrous fortune come this vengeance on me they had executed. Revenge it, as you love your mother's life. Be henceforth not called my children.
This is wicked, and I am thy son! This for me shall come to show my strength!
Come, barbarous Tamara, for no name fits thy nature but thy own.
Give me thy phone near my voice. You shall know your mother's hand shall right your mother's wrongs.
Stay, madam, for here's more belongs to her. First thrash the corn, then after burn the straw. This temptress stood upon her chastity, upon her nuptial vow, her loyalty. Oh, and with that quaint hope, braves your mindedness. And shall she carry this into her grave?
Drag hence her wife to some secret hole and make her dead body. Kill her to her lust.
But when you have the honey you desire, let not the wasps thou livest vote to sting.
I warrant you, madam, we will make that sure. Come, mistress, now perforce we will enjoy thy nice preserved honesty of yours.
O Tamara, thou fairest of women,
I will not hear her speak. Away with her.
sweet lords, entreat her, hear me but a word.
Listen, madam, let it be your glory to see her tears, but be your heart to them as unrelenting flint as rock's grain.
And do not learn her wrath she taught thee. And every mother breeds not sons alike. Do thou entreat her show a woman's pity.
What? Wouldst thou have me prove myself a bastard?
'Tis true, the raven doth not hatch a lark. Yet I have heard, so could I bite into hell, the lion moved with pity, did endure to have his princely paws pared all away. Some say that ravens foster forlorn children, the whilst their own birds famish in their nest. Oh, be to me, though thy heart heart say no, nothing so kind, but something pitiful.
I know not what it means. Away with her.
But let me teach thee for thy father's sake. Gave thee life and rather might have slain. Be not unrelenting, open thy death to you.
Hadst thou in person never offended me, even for his sake, am I pitiless. Remember, boys, I poured forth tears in vain to save your brother from the sacrifice. But fierce Andronicus would not relent. Therefore, away with her, and use her as you will. The worse to her, the better loved of me.
O Tamara, be called a gentle queen, and with thine own hand heal me in this place. For 'tis not life I begged so long, for I was slain when Bastian died.
Oh, what? Beggest thou then? Stupid woman, let me go.
Oh, keep me from the worst of killing lust, and tumble me into some loathsome pit where never man's eye behold my body. Do this and be a charitable murderer.
So, should I rob my sweet sons of their fee? No. Let them satisfy their wants on me.
No, womanhood! Ah, beastly creature! The blood enemy to our general name! Confusion.
Name it, I'll stop your mouth!
Oh, wait, but thou stayed us here too long.
Farewell, my sons. See that you make her sure, and never let my heart know merry cheers even till all the Andronicus be extinguished. Now, will I hence to seek my lovely moor, while my lustful sons that makes deflower.
Come on, my lord! The benefit before, shall I bring you to the loathsome pit, where I observe the panther fast asleep?
Oh, my sight is very dull, O tearing boat. And mine, I promise you, were it not for shame, well, I'd give our sport to sleep a while.
What art thou fallen? What is this? His mouth is covered with rude growing briars. On whose leaves are drops of new shed blood. Speak, brother! Hast thou heard thee with the fall?
Oh, brother, with the dismalest object hurt that ever I with sight made heart lament.
Now will I fetch to the king to find them here, that he thereby may give a likely guess how pleased were they that made away with his sister.
Why dost not comfort me, and help me out from this unhallowed and blood-stained hole?
I am surprised with uncanny fear. My heart suspects more than mine eye can see.
To prove thou hast a true divining heart, Aaron and thou look down into this den, and see a fearful sight of blood and death.
Aaron is gone! And my compassionate heart will not permit mine eye once to behold the thing. Tell me who it is.
Princess Bassiana lies bewrayed in blood, all on a heap like to a slaughtered lamb.
Reach me thy hand that I may help thee out. I have no strength to pluck thee out.
Nor I no strength to climb without thy help.
Thy hand once more.
Along with thee, I'll see the gold is here, and what it is that is now left in. Say, who art thou that lately didst descend into this gaping hollow of the earth?
The unhappy son of brave Andronicus, brought hither in a most unlucky hour to find thy sister Bassiana dead.
My sister dead! I know thou dost but jest. She and her lady both are up at the lodge upon the north side of this pleasant chase. 'Tis not an hour since I left them there.
We know not where you left them all alive, but out, alas, here we have found her dead.
Where is my lord the king?
Help, please.
Here, Tamara, thou grieved with killing grief.
Where is thy sister Bassiana?
Now to the bottom dost thou search my wound. Poor Bassiana lies here murdered.
Oh, then all too late, I bring this fatal writ, the complot of this timeless tragedy. And if we miss to meet her, sweet huntswoman Bassiana Tiswimine, do thou so much as dig the grave for her. Thou knowest our meaning, look for thy reward.
Look for thy reward. Among the nettles, at the elder tree, which overshades the mouth of that same pit, where we decreed to bury Bassiana. Do this, and purchase us thy lasting friends. O Tamara, was ever heard the like? This is the pit, and this the elder tree. Oh, look, sirs, if you can find the huntsman out that should have murdered Bassiana here.
My precious lord! Here, this is a bag of gold.
No. No.
Two of thy whelps, thou curs of bloody kind, have here bereft my sister of her life. Sirs, drag them from the pit and unto the prison. There let the divide some never heard of torturing pain for them.
I am right. Make this moon let us yourself out the ship. Let this spell forth in my person. Accursed is the fault be proved in them.
If it be proved, you see, it is apparent. Who found this letter, Tamara? Was it you?
Andronicus himself did take it up.
I did, my lord. Yet let me be their bail.
Thou shalt not fail them. See thou follow me. Some bring the murdered body, some the murderer. No! But by my soul, were there a worse end than death? That end upon them should be executed!
So now go tell, and if thy tongue can speak, who 'twas that cut thy tongue and ravished thee.
Write down thy mind, bewray thy meaning so, and if thy stumps will let me play the scribe.
See how it signs and tokens she can scrawl.
Go home, call for sweet water, wash thy hands.
She hath no tongue to call, nor hands to watch, so let's leave her to her silent wall.
And 'twere my case, I should go hang myself.
If thou hadst hands to help thee knit the cord.
Who is this? My niece that flies away so fast, cousin, a word. Where is your wife? Found you dream, but all my will for waking. Find you wakes, planet strike me down that I may slumber and return. Speak, the gentle knees, what stern and gentle hands have locked and hewed and made thy body bare of her two branches. The sweet ornaments whose circling shadows kings have sought to sleep in. And might not gain so great a happiness as half thy love. Why does not speak to me? Alas, crimson river of warm blood doth rise and fall between thy lucid lips. But sure some Titus hath deflowered thee, unless thou shouldst detect him cut thy tongue. Dawn now that takes away thy face for shame. Shall I speak for thee? Shall I say 'tis so? Oh, that I knew thy heart! I knew the beast that I might bring it to ease my mind! Come. Let us go. And make thy father blind. For such a sight will blind the father's eye. Do not draw back. For we will mourn with thee. Oh, could a mourning ease thy misery?
Noble Tribune, stay! For pity of my nature's youth was spent in dangerous wars whilst you securely slept. For all my blood in Rome's great mortal shed. For all the frosty nights that I have watched. And for these bitter tears, which now you see filling the scarred wrinkles in my cheeks. Be pitiful to my Indian sons, whose souls are not corrupted as 'tis thou. For 2 and 20 and I have never wept, because they died in honor's lofty bed. O reverend tributes, O titillate men! Unbind my sons, reverse the doom of death, and let me say, that never have wept before, my tears are now prevailing orators.
Noble father, you lament in vain. The tribunes hear you not, no man is by, and you recount your sorrows to a stone.
Lucia, for thy brothers let me plead. Great fathers, once more I entreat of you.
Gracious Lord, no tribune hears you speak.
Why, 'tis no matter. If they did hear, they would not mock me. Wherefore standest thou with thy weapon drawn?
To rescue my 2 brothers from death, for which attempt the judges have pronounced my everlasting doom of banishment.
Oh, happy woman, they have befriended thee. Why, foolish Lucia, dost thou not perceive that Rome is but a wilderness of tigers? Tigers must prey, and Rome affords no prey but me and mine. But how happy art thou then from these devourers to be banished? Oh, but who comes with our brother Marcus here?
Titus, prepare thy weary eyes to weep, or if not so, thy noble heart to break. I bring consuming sorrow to thine age.
Will it consume me? Well, let me see it. Come on.
This was thy daughter.
Oh, and Marcus. So she is. Thank God that you will arise and look upon her. Speak, Lavinia. What a curse that hath made thee hapless in thy father's sight. My grief was at height before thou camest. Now like the Nile at the state is bound. No! No! Oh, give me a sword, and I'll chop off my hands too, for they have fought for Rome and all in vain. Now on the surface I wipe them, as that one will to cut the other. 'Tis well, Lavinia, that thou hast no hands. For hands to do Rome's service are but in vain.
Speak, gentle sister, who hath martyred me?
Oh, that delightful engine of my thoughts is torn from forth that pretty hollow cage.
Oh, say thou for her, who hath done this deed?
For thus I found her straying in the park, seeking to hide herself, as doth the deer that hath received some unrecurring wound.
Gentle Lavinia, let me kiss thy lips, or make some sign how I may do thee. Shall we go to wear hands like thine? Or shall we bite our tongues and in dumb shows pass the remainder of our hateful days? What shall we do? Let us then have our hands plot some device of further misery to make us wondered at in time to come.
Sweet father, cease your tears. Hide your grief. See how my wretched sister sobs and weeps. I, my Lavinia, I'll wipe thy cheek.
Oh, what a sympathy of woe is this! As far from help as limbo is from bliss.
Titus Andronicus, my lord here sends thee this word, that if thou love thy sons, let Marcus, Lucia, or thyself, brave Titus, or any one of you chop off your hand and send it to the king. He for the same will send thee hither both thy sons alive, and that will be the ransom for their boat.
Gracious Emperor, O gentle Aaron, with all my heart I'll send the emperor my hand. Aaron, will thou help me chop it off?
Hey, father! For that noble hand of thine that hath thrown down so many enemies shall not be sent. My hand will serve the turn. My youth can better spare my blood, therefore mine shall save my brother's lives.
Which of your hands have not defended Rome? And reeled off the bloody battle axe raining destruction on the enemy's castle? My hand hath been but idle. Let it serve to ransom my two nephews from their death. Then have I kept it to a worthy end.
Nay! Come. Agree whose hand shall go along. For fear they die before their pardon come.
Thy hand shall go.
By heaven it shall not go!
Hasten! Strive you no more. Such withered herbs as these are meet for plucking, and therefore mine.
Sweet father, if I shall be thought thy daughter, let me redeem my brothers both from death.
For our father's sake and mother's care, now let me show a brother's love.
Agree between you. I will spare my hand.
Then I'll go fetch an axe.
But I will use the axe.
Come, Aaron, and I'll deceive them both. Lend me thy hand, and I will give thee mine.
If that be called deceit, I will be honest, and never whilst I live deceive men so. But I will deceive you in another sort, and that you'll say ere half an hour pass.
Now stay your strife! What's up in this match? Good Aaron! Begin his majesty my hand!
I go, Andronicus, and bore thy hand with by and by, to have thy sons with thee. Their hands fighting. Oh, how this villainy not fed me with the very thoughts of it! Let fools do good, and burn men call for grace. Aaron will have his sword, black like his face!
Oh, here, I lift this one hand up to heaven, and vow this feeble ruin to the earth. If any power pities her wretched tears, to that I go. What? Wilt thou kneel with me? Do then, dear heart, for heaven shall hear our prayers. Or with our sighs we'll breathe the heavens in and stain the sun with fog, as sometime clouds when they do hug him in their melting bosoms.
Brother, speak with possibility. Do not break into these deep extremes.
Is not my sorrow deep, having no bottom? Then be my passions bottomless with them.
But yet let reason govern thy lament.
If there were reason for these miseries, then into limits could I find my woe. When heaven doth weep, doth not the earth overflow? If the winds rage, doth not the sea like snap, threatening the heaven with his big swollen face? And wilt thou have a reason for this coil? I am the sea, hark! Thou art eyes to blow. She is the weeping heaven, and I the earth. Then must my sea be moved with her sighs, and then must my earth, with her continuous tears, become a deluge, overflowed and drowned. For why my bowels cannot hide their woes, but like a drunkard must I vomit them. Then give me leave, for losers will have leave to eat their stomachs with their bitter tongue.
Worthy Andronicus, now art thou repaid for that good hand thou sent'st the emperor. Here are the heads of thy two noble sons. And here is thy hand in scorn of these dead men. Thy grief their sports, thy resolution mocked. that woe is me to think upon my woes more than remembrance of my father's death.
These miseries are more than may be borne. Alas, poor heart, that kiss is comfortless. This frozen water to a starved snake.
When will this fearful slumber have an end?
Why dost thou laugh? If it's not at this hour.
Why? I have not another tear to shed. Besides, the sorrow is an enemy, and would usurp upon my watery eyes and make them blind with tributary tears. Then, which way shall I find repentance escape? For these two heads do seem to speak to me, and threaten me I shall never come to bliss till all of these mischiefs be returned again, even in the throats that have committed them. Come! Let me see what task I have to do. You heavy people, circle me about, so that I may turn me to each one of you and swear under my soul to right your wrong. The vow is made. Come, brother, take a head. And in this hand, the other I will bear. Lavinia, thou shalt be employed. Bear thou my hand, sweet wench, between thy teeth. And as for thee, girl, take me from my sight. Thou art an exile, and thou must not stay. Hie to the gods, and raise an army there. And if you love me, as I think you do, let's kiss and part, for we have much to do.
Farewell, Andronicus, my noble father, the wolfest man to have ever lived in Rome. Farewell, proud Rome, till Lucia come again. She loves her pledges dearer than her life. Farewell, Lavinia, my noble sister. I will requite thy wrongs and make proud Saturnine and his empress beg at the gates. Now will I to the gods, to raise a power, to be revenged on Rome and Saturnine.
Do not fear thy heart.
She loves the girl too well to do thee harm.
Hi, when my mother was in Rome, she did.
What means my niece Lavinia by these signs?
Fear her not, Lucia, some adopt you mean.
Canst thou not guess wherefore she gratifies thee thus?
My lord, I know not. Nor can I guess unless some fitful frenzy do possess her. For I've heard my grandsire say full well, extremity of griefs would make men mad. And I have read that Hecuba of Troy ran mad through sorrow. That made me to fear. Although, my lord, I know my noble aunt loves me as dear as ever my mother does. And would not but in fury fright my youth.
How now, Lavinia? Marcus, what means this? Some bookers that she desires to see. Which is a girl of these? Open them. But thou art deeper read and better skilled. Come, take a choice of all my library, and so beguile thy sorrow, to the heavens reveal the damned contriver of this deed. Why does she have arms and sequence thus?
I think she means that there was more than one confederate in the fact. More there was. or else to heaven she heaves them for revenge.
Lucia, what book is it that she talks us so?
Oh, Grandsire, 'tis Ovid's Metamorphoses. My mother gave it me.
For love of her that's gone, perhaps she culled it from among the rest.
Oh, see how busily she turns the leaves. Lavinia, shall I read? This is the tragic tale of Philomel. It treats of Titus' treason and his rape. And rape, I fear, is the root of thy annoy.
See, note how she quotes the leaves.
Lavinia, wert thou the surprised sweet girl, ravished and wronged as Philomel was, forced in the ruthless, fasting, gloomy woods? Oh, see, in such a place there's we did hunt. Oh, had we never hunted there? Patterned by this the poet here describes, by nature made for murders and for rapes.
So why should nature build so foul a den? Unless the gods delight in tragedies.
Give signs, sweet girl, for here are none but rings. The Roman lord masters to the deed.
Sit down, sweet niece. Brother, sit down. Apollo, Pallas, Jove, or Mercury, inspire me that I may this treason find. My lord, look here, Lavinia. This sandy plot is plain. Guide, if thou canst, this after me. I here have written my name without the help of any hand at all. Cursed be the heart that forced us to this shift. Write thou, good niece, and here display at last what God will have discovered for revenge. Heaven guide thy pen to print thy sorrows plain, that we may know the traitors and the truth. Oh, do ye read, my lord, what she hath writ?
Chiron, Demetrius.
What? What? The lustful sons of Tamar, performers of this heinous bloody deed. Swear we will prosecute by good advice more to revenge on these traitorous gods and see their blood or die with this reproach.
'Tis sure enough. If you knew how. But if you hunt these fair whelps, then beware. The dam will wake. She wins you once seized with the lion deeply still and wake, and lulls him while she playeth on her back. And when he sleeps, will she do as she lists. Come, go with me to mine armory. Lucia, I'll fit thee, and with all my girls shall send from me to the Empress's son's presence, that I intend to send them both. Lavinia, come. Marcus, look to my house. Lucia and I will go brave it at the courts. Aye, marry will we, sir, and will be waited on.
Heavens! Can you hear a good man groan and not relent and not compassion him? Revenge, ye heavens, for sad Andronicus.
Can't walk down.
Demetrius! Here's the daughter of Lucia. She has some message to deliver us.
Aye, some mad message from her. Mad grandfather.
My lords, with all the humbleness I may, I greet your honors from Andronicus.
Well, many thanks, lovely Lucia. And what's the news?
For you were both deciphered, that's the news for villains marked with rape. May it please you, my grandsire, well advised, has sent by me the goodliest weapons of his armory. To gratify your honorable youth, the hope of Rome, for so he bade me to say, and so I do. So I leave you both. Like bloody villains.
What's here? A scroll. And written roundabout. Let's see. The man who's a pure life and free of crime need not the bows and arrows of the Moor.
Oh, 'tis a verse in Horace. I know it well. I read it in the grammar long ago.
Aye, just a verse in Horace. Right you have it. Here is no sound jest. The madmen have found their guilt, and send some weapons wrapped about with lies. And were our witty empress well afoot, she would applaud Andronicus' conceit, but let her rest in her unrest a while.
To see so great a lord basically insinuate and send us gifts.
Had he not reason, Lord Demetrius? Did you not use his daughter very friendly?
I would. We had 1,000 Roman dames at such a babe by turn to serve our lust.
Here lies what your mother for to say, amen.
And that would she for 20,000 more.
Oh, let us go and praise to all the gods for our beloved mother and her pain.
Pray to the devils. The gods have given us over.
Why did the emperor in Rome rumble thus?
Belike for joy, the emperor hath a son.
Oh, gentle Aaron! We are all undone!
Look who comes here!
No help! Our woe betide thee evermore!
Why, what a caterwauling dost thou keep? What dost thou wrap and fumble in thine arms?
Oh, that which I would hide from heaven's eye. Her empress shame and stately Rome's disgrace. She is delivered, Lord, she is delivered.
Well, come give her good rest. What hath he sent her?
A devil!
Why then she's the devil's dam. A joyful issue.
A joyless, dismal, black, sorrowful issue. Here is the babe, as loathsome as a toad, amongst the fairest breeders of our clime. The empress sends it thee, thy stamp, thy seal, and bids thee christen it with thy dagger's point.
Sound. He whore! His blood shall be to him!
Villain, what hast thou done?
That which thou canst not undo!
Thou hast undone our mother!
Villain, I have done thy mother!
There in hell's dark thou hast undone her. Woe to her chance, and damned her loathed choice. Accursed the offspring of so foul things.
It shall not live!
It shall not die!
Aaron, it must, the mother wills it so!
What? Must it, nurse? Then let no man but I to execution, on my flesh and blood.
I'll broach the tadpole on my rapier's point. Nurse, give it me. My sword shall soon dispatch.
Sword on this sword shall plow thy bowels up. Stay! Murderous villains, will you kill your brother? Though like the burning vapors of the sky that shone so brightly when this boy was gone, he dies upon my sword's sharp point that touches this My firstborn son Aaron! Coal black is better than another hue, and that it scorns to bear another hue. For all the water in the ocean can never turn the swan's black necks to white, although she lays them hourly in the flood. Tell the empress from me, I am of age to keep my life. Excuse it, how she can!
And wilt thou betray thy noble mistress thus?
My mistress is my mistress. This, myself, the figure and the picture of my youth. This, before all the world do I prefer. The maugre all the world will I keep safe. Or some of you shall smoke for it in Rome.
And by this our mother is forever shamed.
Rome will despise her for this foul escape.
The Emperor in his rage will doom her death.
I blush to think upon this ignominy.
Why, there's the privilege your beauty bears. Fine, treacherous you. Thou will betray with blushing the close axe and counsels of the heart. Here is a young lad framed of another layer. Look how the black slave smiles upon the father, as who should say, old man, I am thine own. He is your brother, lords, sensibly fed of that self-blood that first gave life to you. And from that womb, where you imprisoned were, he is enfranchised and come to light. Although my seal be stamped in his face.
Aaron, what shall I say unto the Empress?
Advise thee, Aaron, what is to be done, and we will all subscribe to thy advice. Save thou the child, so we may all be safe.
Then sit we down, and let us all consult. My son and I will have no interview. Keep there. Now talk at pleasure of your safety.
How many women saw this child of his?
Cornelia the midwife, and myself, and no one else but the delivered Empress.
The Empress, the midwife, and yourself. Two may keep counsel when the third's away. Go to the Empress. Tell her this, I said.
What meanest thou, Aaron? Wherefore didst thou this?
Oh, Lord, sir, 'tis a deed of policy. Shall she live to betray this guilt of loss? A long-term babbling gossip. No, Lord, no. And now be it known to you my full intent. Not far one Melinius, my countryman, his wife but yesternight was brought to bed. His child is like to her, fair as you are. Go, pat with him, and give the mother gold. And tell them both the circumstance of all, how by this their child shall be advanced and be received for the emperor's heir. Hark, ye lords! Ye see I have given a physic, and you must needs bestow her funeral. This done, see that you take no longer days, but send the midwife presently to me. The midwife and the nurse well made away. Then let the ladies tattle what they please.
Aaron, I see thou wilt not trust the air with secrets.
For this care of Tamara, hers and herself are highly bound to thee.
Now to the ghosts. As swift as swallow flies, there to dispose this treasure in mine arms, and secretly to greet the Empress's friends. I'll make you feed on berries and on roots, and feed on curds and whey, and suck the goat, and cabin in a cave, and bring you up to be a warrior, and command a camp.
Come, Marcus. Come, kinsman. This is the way. My girl, let me see your brick. Good brick. Good brick. Look, you draw home enough, and 'tis there straight. The goddess of justice has left the earth. But you remembered, Marcus. She's gone. She's fled. Sir! Take me to your tools! You cousins! Go sound the ocean and cast your nets. Haply you may catch her in the sea. If there's as little justice as a land, I pray you, deliver him this petition. Tell him it is for justice and for aid, and that it comes from Andronicus, shaken with sorrows and ungrateful Rome.
Oh, Publius, is not this a heavy case to see thy noble uncle thus distracted?
And now, my lord, it highly concerns us. Day and night to attend him and feed his humor as kindly as we may. Till time begets some cheerful remedy.
Kinsman, his sorrows are past remedy. But let us live in hope that Lucia will join with the gods and with revengeful war take wreak on Rome for this ingratitude and vengeance on the traitor Saturnine.
Publius! How now? How now, my masters? What? Have you met with her?
No, my good lord, but Pluto sends you word. If you have revenge from hell, you shall marry for justice. She is so employed. He thinks with Jove in heaven or somewhere else, and perforce must need you stay a time.
He doth me wrong to feed me with delays. I'll dive into the burning lake below and pull her out of Akron by the heels. Marcus! We are but shrubs, no cedars. We no big bowmen framed with a cyclops' size. But metal, Marcus, steel to the very backs, yet wrung with wrongs more than our backs can bear. Since there's no justice in earth nor hell, we will solicit heaven and move the gods to send down justice or to wreck our wrongs.
My lord, I aim to mount. Your letters to Jupiter by this.
Publius, what hast thou done? See, thou shot up one of Taurus's horns. Why, there it goes. God give his lordship joy. Come, Marcus, this is the way. Publius, let us go. Go! We gotta go.
Was ever seen an emperor in Rome thus overboard, troubled, confronted thus? Shall we be afflicted in his wrecks, his fits, his frenzy, and his bitterness? And now he writes to heaven for his redress. But if I live, his feigned ecstasies shall be no shelter shelter to these outrages!
My gracious lord, my lovely Saturnine, lord of my life, commander of my thoughts, calm thee and bear the faults of Titus's mind, the effects of sorrow for his valiant sons.
Despiteful and intolerable wrongs! Shall I endure this monstrous villainy? I know from whence the same device proceeds. May this be borne, as if his traitorous sons that died by law for murder of our sister have by my means been butchered wrongfully. Go, drag the villain hither by the hair, nor age nor honor shall shake privilege. This proud Malco be thy slaughterman. Sly frantic wretch that hopes to make me great, in hope thyself should govern Rome and me. What's news with thee, Aemilius?
Arms, my lord. Rome never had more cause. The gods have gathered head, and with a power high resolved men bent to the spoil. They hither march amain under conduct of Lucia, daughter to old Andronicus, who threats a course of this revenge to do as much as ever Coriolanus did.
Is warlike Lucia, general of the Goths? They hang the head as flowers with frost, her grass beat down with storms. I now begin our sorrows to approach, to she the common people love so much. Myself have often overheard them say, when I would walk like a private man, that Lucia's banishment was wrongfully, and they have wished that Lucia were their emperor.
Why should you fear? Is not your city strong?
Aye, but the citizens favor Lucia, and will revolt for me to succor her.
King, be thy thoughts imperious like thy name. Is the sun dimmed that gnats do fly in it? The eagle suffers little birds to sing, and is not careful what they mean thereby, knowing that with the shadow of his wing he can at pleasure stint their melody. Even so mayest thou, the giddy men of Rome, cheer thy spirit, for know, thou emperor, I will enchant Andronicus with words more sweet and yet more dangerous than baits to fish or honey stalks to sheep, when as the one is wounded with the bait, the other rotted with delicious speed.
But he will not entreat his daughter for us.
Oh, but its hammer entreats him, then he will, for I can fill and soothe his ears with golden promises that were in his heart almost impregnable, his mad ears deaf. But should both heart and tongue obey, go thou before, be our ambassador. Say that the emperor requests a parley of warlike Lucia, and appoint a meeting even at her father's house, the mad Andronicus.
Your bidding shall I do effectually.
Now will I to that Andronicus, and tempt him with all the arts I have, to pluck proud Lucia from the warlike Goths. And now, sweet emperor, be blithe again, and bury all thy fear in my devices.
Approved warriors and my faithful friends, I have received letters from great Rome which signify what hate they bear their emperor and how desirous of our sight they are. Therefore, great lords, be as your titles witness, imperious and impatient of your wrongs. And wherein Rome hath done you any scath, but him makes subtle satisfaction.
Brave slip sprung from the great Andronicus, whose name was once our terror, now our comfort, whose high exploits and honorable deeds in faithful Rome requite with foul contempt. Be bold in us,
we will follow where thou leadst and be avenged on cursed Tamara. And as you say, so say we all with her. I humbly thank her. And I thank you all. But who comes here being led by a lusty Goth?
Renowned Lucian, from our troops I strayed to gaze upon a ruinous monastery, and as I earnestly did fix mine eye upon the wasted building, suddenly I heard a child cry underneath the wall. I made unto the noise, when soon I heard, for I must bear thee to a trusty God, who when he knows thou art the empress's babe, will hold thee dearly for thy mother's sake. With this my weapon drawn, I rushed upon him, surprised him suddenly, and brought him hither to use as you see he is love the man.
Oh, worthy God. This is the incarnate devil that robbed Andronicus of his good hand. This is the empress that pleased your empress's eyes, and here's the base fruit of his burning lust. A halter soldier, hang him on this tree, and by his side his fruit of bastard.
Get down the boy! He's a one of blood!
Do you want the sire forever? First, hang the child, that he may stand tall, and to vets the father's soul withal.
You shall say the child and bear it from me to the empress. If thou do this, there shall be wondrous things that highly may advance thee to hear. If thou wilt not befall what may befall, I'll speak no more, but vengeance rush on.
Say on, and if it please me which thou speak, thou child shall live, and I'll see it nourished.
What if I do not? As indeed I do not. For I know thou art religious, and hast a thing within thee called conscience. By that same God, what God soever it be, that thou adorest and hast remembered to save my boy, to nourish and bring him up, or else I will discover not to thee.
Even by my God, I swear to thee I will.
First, know thou, I begot him on the empress. 'Twas her 2 sons that murdered Bassiana. They cut thy sister's tongue and ravished her, and cut her hands and trimmed her as thou sawest.
Detestable villain, callest thou that trimming?
Why, she was washed and cut and trimmed, and 'twas trim sport for them that had the doing of it.
Barbarous, beastly villains like thyself.
Indeed, I was their tutor to instruct them. That cutting spirit had they from their mother. Well, let my deeds be witness of my word. I trained thy brethren to that guileful hold, where the dead corpse of Bassiana lay. I wrote the letter that thy father found, and hid the gold within the letter mentioned. Confederate with the queen and her 2 sons. And what not done that thou hast caused to rue, wherein I had no stroke of mischief in it? I played the cheater for thy father's hand, and when I had it, drew myself apart, and almost broke my heart with extreme laughter. I cried me to the crevice of a wall, when for his hand he had his 2 sons' heads, beheld his tears, and laughed so heartily that both mine eyes were raining like to his. And when I told the empress of this sport, she swooned almost at my pleasing tale, and for my tidings gave me 20 kisses.
Art thou not sorry for these heinous deeds?
Aye, that I had not done 1,000 more. Even now I curse the day, and yet I think you come within the compass of my curse, or an I did not some notorious ill as kill a man, or else devise his death, ravish a maid, or plot the way to do it, accuse some innocent and forswear myself, set deadly enmity between 2 friends, make poor men's cattle break their necks, set fire on barns and haystacks in the night, and bid the others quench them with their tears. Oh, have I digged up dead men from their graves and set them up at their guilt-fed doors, even when their sorrows almost were forgot, and on their skin, as in the box of trees, held with my knife caught in woman menace.
Let not your sorrow die, though I am dead.
I have done 1,000 dreadful things, as willingly as one would kill a fly. And nothing grieves me heartily indeed, but that I cannot do 10,000 more.
Get out! Get out!
Bring down the devil! For he must not die so sweet a death as hanging presently.
Oh, if there be devils when I were a devil, to live and burn in everlasting fire, so I might have your company and hell!
Lord Lucia! New leader of the gods, Roman Emperor, greets you all by me. And for he understands you are in arms, he craves a parley at your father's house, willing you to demand hostages, and they shall be immediately delivered.
What says our general? Emilius, let the emperor give his pledges unto my father, my uncle Marcus, and we will come. Away!
Thus, in this strange and sad habiliment, I will encounter with Andronicus, and I say I am revenge, sent from below to right his heinous wrongs. Not get a study where they say he keeps, to ruminate strange plots of dire revenge. Tell him revenge is come to join with him, and work confusion on his enemies.
Doth molest my contemplation! Is it your trick to make me open the door so that my sad decrees may fly away and all my study be to no effect? You are deceived, for what I mean to do, see here in bloody lines I have set down, and what is written shall be executed.
Titus, I am come to talk with thee.
No! Not a word! How can I grace my talk wanting a hand to give it action? Thou hast the odds of me, therefore, no more.
Oh, if thou didst tell me thou wouldst talk with me.
I am not mad, I know thee well enough. Witness this wretched stump. Witness these crimson lines. Witness these trenches made by grief and care. Witness the tiring day and heavy night, and witness all sorrow that I know thee well. For our proud empress, mighty Tamara, is not thy coming for my other hand.
No, thou sad man, I am not Tamara. She is thy enemy, and I thy friend. I am revenge, sent from the infernal kingdom to ease the gnawing vulture of thy mind, by working wreckful vengeance on thy foes. Come down and welcome me to this world's light. Can fare with me of murder and of death. There's no holiday or lurking place, no vast obscurity misty veil where bloody murder is tested or can couch for fear. But I will find them out, and in their ears tell them my dreadful name, revenge, which makes the foul offender quake.
Thou revenge, and art thou sent me to be a torment to mine enemies?
I am, therefore come down and welcome me.
Do me some service, Sarah, come to me. Lo, by thy side where rape and murder stands. Now, give me some assurance that thou art revenge. Stab them, or tear them on thy chariot wheels, and then I'll come and be thy wagoner and whirl along with thee about the globe. So thou destroy rapine and murder there.
These are my ministers, and come with me.
Are these thy ministers? What are they called?
rapine, and murder. Therefore called so, because they take vengeance of such kind of men.
Oh, how like the Empress's sons they are! And you, the Empress. But we worldly men have miserable, mad, mistaking eyes. Oh, sweet revenge, now will I come to thee. And if one arm's embracement will content thee, I will embrace thee in it by and by.
This closing fits his lunacy. Whatever I forge to feed his brain-sick humors, to uphold and maintain in your speeches. For now, he firmly mistakes me for revenge. And being credulous in the mad thought, I'll have him send for Lucia, his daughter, and whilst I at a banquet hold her sure. I'll find some cunning practice out of hand to scatter and disperse the giddy Goths, or at least make them his enemies.
Long have I been forlorn and all for thee. Welcome, dread fury, to my woeful house. Rapine, murder, you are welcome too. How like the Empress and her sons you are. Well are you fitted, had you but a more. Could not all hell afford you such a devil? For well I wot the Empress never wags, but in her company there is a more. And would you represent her queen aright, where convenient you had such a devil? But welcome as you are. What shall we do?
What wouldst thou have us do, Andronicus?
Show me a murderer, and I will deal with him.
Show me a villain that hath done a rape, and I am sent to be revenged on him.
Show me 1,000 that have done thee wrong, and I will be revenged on them all.
There is a queen that's ended by a Moor. Well, mayst thou know her by thy own proportion, for up and down she doth resemble thee. I pray thee, do on them some violent death. They have been violent to me and mine.
Well, hast thou listened us? This shall we do. But would it please thee, good Andronicus, to send for Lucia, thy thrice valiant daughter, who leads towards Rome a band of warlike Goths, and bid her banquet at thy house? When she is here, even at thy solemn feast, I will bring in the Empress and her sons, the Emperor himself, and all thy foes. And at thy mercy shall they stoop and kneel, and on them shall they ease thy angry heart. What says Andronicus to this device?
Marcus, my brother, 'tis that Titus calls. Go, gentle Marcus, to thy niece Lucia. Thou shalt inquire her out among the Goths. Bid she repair to me, and bring with her some of the chiefest princes of the Goths. Bid she encamp her soldiers where they are. Tell her the Emperor and the Empress to feast at my house, and she shall feast with them. This do thou for my love, and so let her, as she regards her aging father's life.
This will I do, and soon return again.
Now will I hence about thy business and take my ministers along with me.
Nay! Let rape and murder stay, or else I'll call my brother back and plead to no revenge for Lucia.
Or what say you, boys? Whilst you bide with me, whilst I go tell my emperor how I have governed our determined jest, yield to his humor, smooth and speaking and fair, and tarry with him until I turn again.
I knew them all. And though they suppose me mad and will overreach them in their own devices, a pair of cursed hellhounds in their den.
Madam, departed pleasure leave us here.
Farewell, Andronicus. Revenge now goes to their kumquat to betray thy foes.
I know thou dost, and sweet revenge Tread well.
Can a strange man, how shall we be employed?
I have work enough for you to do. Publius, come hither. Caius Valentine.
What is your will, my lord?
Know you these two?
The Empress's sons, I take them, Chiron and Demetrius.
Publius, thou art too much deceived. This one is murder, and rape is the other's name. And therefore, bind them to Publius. Caius Valentine, lay hands on them, and stop their mouths if they begin to cry.
Villains, forbear! We are the Empress's sons, and therefore we do as we are commanded.
Come, Lavinia. Look, thy clothes are bound.
Stop your mouth! You must speak to me!
Listen here, what powerful words I have to utter. Oh, villains, Chiron and Demetrius. Here stands the spring whom you have stained with mud. This goodly summer with your winter mixed. You killed her wife, and for that vile fault, 2 of her brothers were condemned to death. My hand cut off and made a merry jest. Both her hands, her tongue, and that's more dear than hands or tongue, her spotless chastity. Inhuman traitors, you constrained and forced. What would you say? Should I let you speak?
Shame you cannot beg for grace!
Hard wretches, how I mean to martyr you! No, your mother means to feast with me, and calls herself revenge, and makes me mad.
Villains!
I will grind your bones to dust, and with your blood in it, I'll make a paste. In a coffin I will rear, and make several pastries of your shameful head. Bid that stump with your unhallowed dam like the earth swallow her own increase. This is the feast that I bid her to, and this the banquet she shall serve it on. And now, prepare your throats. Lavinia, come. So now bring them in, or I'll play the cook and see them ready against their mother come.
Of our friends be strong. I fear the Emperor means no good to us. The trumpets show the Emperor's at hand.
Welcome, gracious Emperor. Welcome, Dread Queen. One for you. And one for you. Two. Welcome, ye warlike Goths. It's good. And welcome, Lucia. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, then. Well, though the cheer be poor, 'twill fill your stomachs, please. You eat of it.
Why art thou thus attired, Andronicus?
Because I would be sure to have all well to entertain your highness and your empress.
We are beholding to you, good Andronicus.
And if your highness knew my heart, you were. My lord, the emperor, resolve me this. Was it well done of Grass Virginius to slay his daughter with his own right hand because she was in force stained and deflowered?
It was, Andronicus.
Your reason, mighty lord.
Because the girl should not survive her shame, and by her presence still renew his sorrows.
A reason, mighty, strong, and effectual. A pattern, precedent, and lively one. For me, most wretched, to perform the like. Die, die, Lavinia, in thy shame with thee, and with thy shame, thy father's sorrows.
What hast thou done? Unnatural and unkind!
Gilbert, for my tears have made me blind. I am as woeful as Virginius was now 1,000 times more cause to do this outrage, and now it is done.
What was she ravished? Tell who's in the deed.
Will you eat, please, your highness, feed?
Why hast thou slain thy daughter thus?
Not I.
It was Chiron and Demetrius.
They ravished her. They plucked away her tongue and died.
'Twas they that did her all this wrong.
Go, fetch them hither to us presently.
Why? There they both are, baked into that pie. We're all their mother gravely and they eating the flesh that see your daughter.
It is true. Witness my sword.
Let go of me. There's me for me.
No.
Let go of me.
You sad-faced men, people and sons of Rome, by uproar severed as a flight of fowl scattered by winds and high tempestuous gusts. Oh, let me teach you how to knit again this scattered corn into one mutual sheaf. These broken limbs again into one body. Come, come, you reverent men of Rome, and take our empress gently by the hand. Lucia, our empress, for well I know the common voice. Do cry it. Shall be so.
O thou sad Andronicus, give sentence on this execrable wretch.
Set him breast deep in the earth and famish him. There let him stand and rave and cry for food, and if anyone relieves or pities him for the offense, he dies. This is our doom.
Oh, why should wrath be mute and fury dumb? I am no baby! I, though with base players, I shall repent of the evils I have done. 10,000 worse than ever yet I did what I perform, if I might have my will. If one good deed in all my life I did, I do repent it from my very soul.
Some loving friends, convey the emperor away and give him burial in his father's grave. Go, some of you, bear Saturninus hence and give him burial in his father's grave. My father and Lavinia shall forthwith be closed in our household's monument. And as for that ravenous tiger Tamar, no funeral rites, nor man in mourning weed, nor mournful bell shall bring her burial, but throw her forth to beasts and birds of prey. Her life was beastly and devoid of pity, and being so dead, let birds on her take pity. Then afterwards, to order well the state, that like events may ne'er ruinate